This is your intermission report presented to you by Boss Snowplow in our 10th anniversary season tonight here at the McInnes Student Ice Arena. It's a big weekend for prep hockey around the state of Michigan. The Trenton Showcase just wrapping up in suburban Detroit, bringing together teams from all over the state to play some different opponents as they start to get ready for the playoff run here in Michigan. Both Calumet and Hancock played games against Grand Rapids Forest Hills Northern/Eastern, a cooperative program on the east side of GR. Why is that also important? Because their head coach was a captain for Michigan Tech back in the late 1980s. If you didn't know him before, let's introduce you to Tom Bissett. His big brother Jim Bissett played on the 1981 Frozen Four squad and then scored 27 goals in his senior season at Michigan Tech. He was an influence on his younger brother Tom, who then got filled in about the brand new Tech-NMU rivalry.
You know, besides kind of hearing from my brother that it was just kind of a heated rivalry between a couple of UP teams, I didn't know much, you know, personally, but once I got there early season and during training camp, you kind of hear from the veterans on the team, you know, this is a pretty big deal, and you just get pumped up for that first game against playing against Northern.
Tom arrived from the Pacific Northwest and the USHL as part of Herb Boxer's first recruiting class as the Huskies head coach. He quickly became a dependable scorer in the lineup, notching 12 goals as a freshman and increasing his total every year, just like the rivalry with the Wildcats grew bigger every season.
Thinking back on it now, I remember some of the, you know, pregame, it was real contested, just, you know, you stay on your side of the ice, and if somebody crossed the red line, there was pushing and shoving, and so it built up that rivalry and that intensity for the game, and that carried over into the game. There was a lot of physical play and after the whistle stuff, and just, you know, the crowd was into it, it was heated, it was, you know, just more than just going for a normal game or conference game.
By the time he was an upperclassman, Tom was wearing a letter as a captain. It became his responsibility to get the younger players ready to play their biggest rivals.
I wasn't a real rah-rah type of captain. I was just more of lead by example, but that was a series where, you know, the build-up, some of these guys maybe came through on their recruiting trips and they saw that rivalry, and I didn't have to say much. It was just kind of established that this was a series we wanted to win. We wanted to go in there and play well against our biggest rival. And, you know, no matter what our record was, the fans came, supported us. It was a heated, contested match, and they were usually close. And they had some real offensive, high-powered teams back with Gary Emmons and Joe West, and they could put the puck in the net. The first 2 years, I remember we had some troubles against them. But we had a good team my junior year with John Archibald, Randy McKay, Scott White. You know, I could name off more. And, you know, we finished with a good record. We beat some top teams, and I think we started to get some momentum. Tom finished his career with 65 goals and 159 points. That's still tied for 11th all-time at Michigan Tech. He went on to play a long career in Europe, including a 40-goal season for Brynäs in the Swedish League. But if given an opportunity to play one more game against Northern Michigan all these years later, he'd love to get a chance to add to his 3 goals and 8 assists against the Wildcats. Absolutely. No matter how old the body is now or how sore I would be out there right away. Not sure how you'd survive, Tom, but I know you'd give it a good try out there. We'll start getting ready for the second period from here at the McInnes when we come back after this quick timeout. You're watching CCHA Hockey tonight, presented to you by Boss Snowplow on Fox UP and the Gray TV Network.